Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So today I wanted to share with you Starkey Farmstead's 2022 soil test results. Okay, so let's do a quick review for you guys. The only things here at Starkey Farmstead that we actually use to fertilize and amend our soil, we make on our farm. So we have a chicken, quail, rabbit compost that we make in our chicken coops. We make our own biochar. We just started that, so that hasn't helped the soil test because it wasn't applied then, but we're in the process of applying it now. The third thing that we're going to be doing here, and that we've already done, are using worm castings, which we make out of rabbit manure, compost, leaves, paper, cardboard, those kind of things. So we make our own worm castings also. So we have our own compost, own worm castings, we have our own biochar. We use things like rabbit urine as a nitrogen fertilizer and a pest deterrent. We have videos on that. We make our own comfrey foliar sprays. We use things like comfrey in the garden. We do a deep mulch system, no till, no dig. We do it all on clay. So I want to talk to you guys about soil tests because I know a lot of people think clay soil is not a good thing. They also feel like no-till isn't going to work for them. Well, let me prove to you that with compost, worm castings, biochar, and your own other soil amendments that you can make, like worm tea, things like that, you can really change your soil using the deep mulch no-till method. Here we go. All right, spring of 2022. Right here, our soil organic matter was 2.6, okay? So the thing about the soil organic matter is that for every point of organic matter, you can hold 1 inch of water in that soil. So here on our soil, the spring of 2022, we had 2.6. That's 2.5 inches of water that we could hold, okay? Within 6 months, that 2.6 went to 4.3 by us adding compost, leaves, heavy mulch, worm castings, rabbit manure, those kind of processes, okay? We almost doubled it. That is amazing. The second thing that I was really excited to share with you guys, our carbon to nitrogen ratio went from 9.64 in the spring, which is good, to a 10.1 in the fall, which is ideal. The second thing, our soil pH in the spring was only 4.9. Our soil pH in the fall was 5.2. Okay, now something else that I found that was very interesting was, and this blew us away, everybody away, our microbial living mass count went from like 2,000 to 8,089. Now, if you don't know what a microbial living mass is, microbes in the soil are directly tied to the nutrient recycling ability, okay, of your soil. In other words, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, all of that is being made available to my plants by the microbes, which means I never did use and never will use commercialized fertilizers like NPK. I don't need them. As I get my soil to come back alive, guys, as I increase my microbial mass, my organic matter, as I begin to feed the soil, we're seeing great strides in the health of our soil. Now, I could get in here and talk to you guys about, the fact that we are no longer as compacted as we were with the no-till system. In 6 months, it made a huge difference. I could talk to you about, how the respiration of my soil, the phosphorus levels of my soil, all I'm going to say is across the board in a 6 month, from the spring to the fall, we saw great strides in the health of our soil. And it all came from the fact we don't use any commercialized pesticides, fertilizers, or fungicides, guys. We do heavy mulch, no till, no dig, on compacted or was compacted clay soil. It's not anymore. We use rabbit manure. We use a compost that we make here on the farm, chicken, quail, rabbit manure. We use rabbit urine. We make our own worm castings and we add that into the soil. We use things like leaves off of our form, all of that constantly breaking down. And we keep dead roots in the soil. If you watch any of our older videos, I tell you guys, I go out there and I literally cut the plants at ground level and take the bigger pieces. Now, if it's a woody type plant, like a tomato or a bell pepper, I will put that in the biochar now and make biochar from it. But sometimes I just cut it and drop it if I know I'm not going to be immediately putting other plants in the soil right there. We've had this much change in our soil from those simple processes. We've not even started our cover crops yet. So I can't wait to see what cover crops will do for our soil here at Starkey Farmstead. But I hope that that encourages you, hearing how our soil has changed in 6 months. If you are borderline like, should I no-till? Should I be organic? I mean, surely I need 13, 13, 13, right? Because that's what everybody uses. That is simply feeding the plant. And you have to keep purchasing that over and over and over, and it gets very expensive. And then as you only feed the plant, your plant is weak. It begins to send out biochemical signals out into the world, and the pests hear it, smell it, see it, and they attack your plants. So when I tell you that you've got to feed your soil, you have to feed your soil. You're not going to beat rabbit manure, worm castings, or a combination of chicken, quail, and rabbit manure, guys. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the changes. They're in my hand. I'm looking at the changes. I mean, like, this is so impressive. And you want to know how in-depth our soil tests are? That is spring and fall. Look at the documents right there. Like, I had to dig through this to do the comparison, and I'm so impressed. I will tell you, if some of you are interested in where we're getting our soil tests from, in the spring, we had Regen Ags and Regen, R-E-G-E-N, Ag Lab. They did all of our organic to carbon, organic to nitrogen ratio, our Haney test. They did all of those tests. They also redid them in the fall. But in the fall, we added LSU and we did more of a chemical analysis. In the spring and the fall, through Regen Ag Labs, we were focused on the biological analysis of our soil. Because I keep telling you guys, soil health is key. It is key. It is key to the food that you produce, the nutrient density and the plants that you're producing. You feed that to the animals that you are raising, and you're increasing the nutrient density of the manure from those animals. So when you're looking at purchasing compost, worm castings, or manure from anybody, please stop going to big box stores. All of that, it may have some nutrients in it, and it is organic matter. And yes, it's going to add organic matter to your soil. But how much living biology are in those bags? Almost zero, because they have to sterilize it. Please find somebody around you in your area, even if you have to drive for a couple of hours, and get living products from them. You cannot beat it. And if you can't do that, watch our videos. You can start your own worm forms. You can start your own compost pile in your chicken coop. Guys, if we can do it here at Starkey Farmstead, you can do it where you are. So I hope that this just helps for the ones of you that need the analytical data, for the ones of you that need to be convinced with scientific proof that what I'm saying is true. I have that proof in front of me. So thank you for watching Starkey Farmstead, for rowing in our boat, for letting us row in yours. You guys have a blessed day. Get started. It's February here in Louisiana. We have maybe a month and a half, and it'll almost be time to put your plants in the ground, depending, that's our spring and summer plants in the ground. You can already get your fall crops going. I'm off my feet for another week or so before I can really get into my garden. And being down for 2.5 weeks has set me back about a month on moving tarps and taking down things and putting things up. So it is what it is. Got to roll with the punches. So you guys have a blessed day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Get your compost, get your worm castings, get your rabbit manure into your gardens now. Let that sit. Let it start working into your soil. Okay? Now is the time to do it. Don't think that you have to go get a bagged black cow manure from the store and that's going to be the same. You can't beat rabbit manure. Look it up. It's all over the place. It is higher in nitrogen, potassium, and calcium than any other manure, and it's cold. So you guys have a blessed day. If you need anything, leave me a comment. You can find my email and my phone number all over these videos and all over our Facebook page. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for watching.